sassy, a little bit crazy, a little bit classy. We got dreams and we got goals. We're just a couple of old sassholes.
Hello.
And hello.
Hi.
We're so happy you're here and we're here.
Thanks for coming.
I know, to our podcast. This is A Couple of Sassholes. I'm Brooklyn Maple.
And I am Heather Terry.
And once more, if you're new to the show, number one, a thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. Hopefully, stay here with us for a long time. I just want to say that this is our podcast. I was like, what am I going to say?
Whoa.
I just want to tell you what we're about. This is our true crime podcast about fucked up things that people do and stuff.
And shouldn't.
Yes.
But we'll tell you about it anyway.
Right. Mm-hmm. My mic is really high, so I'm just going to move it a little bit. We should probably talk about our new producer, shouldn't we?
Yes, I think that we should.
The second I touched the mic, I was like,
we should.
I hear Jordan in my head saying,
we should talk about
can you guys stop touching the mics?
Yes, we hired Jordan Rose, and he is the best. He used to have his own radio, basically ran the whole station at another station here in town. And then we scooped him up, and things worked out, and now we get to work with him. And now he brings this joy to you.
In a fast and efficient way. He's so much faster at it that's almost a little upsetting.
Yeah.
Number one, he is the new addition to my life that has changed my life. Mm-hmm. Jordan has changed my life. He's changed my mental state, my free time, my happiness, and my joy. It all falls into the tall, large hands of Jordan. So we thank you and we love you, and we're so happy that you're a part of the Couple of Sassholes team.
Yeah.
Yay, we need to get him some merch.
We have a team.
I know. We're so fancy-pantsy.
I know. Well.
And I'm grateful. Jordan, we love you. And we're going to have to bring him on. And he has like a voice of thunder.
Is that
like for anyone, if you don't know him, he's so tall.
Yeah.
And he has to like really reintroduce himself to like any dogs that come in because he's just such a tall guy.
And he's so nice and happy.
Nice, happy guy, and has like a deep voice. Like,
rattle your bones.
Yeah, rattle them right up. We love him. Anywho, so that's the exciting news of a couple. That's the news corner for us.
Yeah, that was our breaking news announcement.
Oh, I already know something I want to talk about.
Okay.
Let me tell you something.
Okay. Good thing we're here.
Yeah.
I'm ready for you to talk to me.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So have you seen that video of that couple fucking in a bar, like straight fucking in a bar in Bowling Green?
No.
This has been the news of the century, if you will.
How do you know news and I don't know news?
Because I'm hip and with the times. Yeah. I'm more hip with the times than you are, apparently. I was at an event and someone showed me, and then we talked about it over dinner, and Jaden was like, yeah, I saw it too. It was on TikTok, but then it was taken down because it's pornography.
What?
Jeez. Okay, guys. I am now going to have Heather watch it.
Oh, God.
And she is going to be just...
What if I'm like, that's Tiffany?
So devastated.
I do know everybody, so what if I know who this is?
You can't see their faces. You wouldn't be able to know.
What if I was like...
Press play.
She always does that.
Well, they're in jail now. So whenever I heard about it...
Oh.
Well, yes. Yes.
Oh, my...
What the absolute fuck? Yeah. Yeah.
They're not even like...
trying to act
There's like 22 people in there.
Yeah. So let me just paint a picture to you guys.
Okay, I can't watch it.
Okay, so make it stop.
I want to. I want to. There was nothing that...
So the first... Whenever I heard about it, it's a couple. They're in a bar, and the woman is like literally at the bar talking to us, like just having a drink and talking to the bartender. And for whatever reason, they have to be so fucked up that they're not realizing that people can see. That is my only assumption, is that they have to be so fucked up that they cannot realize that there is a whole bar. It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
And then there's people there. The guy has his pants all the way down to his knees.
Yeah.
And her pants are down to her knees. And he's literally fucking her openly and publicly in the bar.
Yeah, I need to talk. I want to unpack, too, on how the video started. You showed me what it looked like. He was incinerating? Wow. Inseminating? Like he had his elbow all the way up, like in her asshole. Like his appendage went somewhere, his arm went somewhere, and you don't know where it goes. And then the neck, it just cuts to...
and you can... Oh, the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea what the intro was. That was somebody sent that to me. Because I don't really have the tickety talks. But it was taken down. But I can't... And yeah, at the very end, which you don't see, it's their mugshots.
Oh.
Because they were arrested for it.
Could you imagine? I wonder if they have kids.
Oh my God. I have so many, and she's not even acting like anything's happening, number one. And you can see him like reach around and fiddly flop with his whatever. So much, guys.
It's very visual.
It is.
Oh, I wasn't ready.
I was talking to Travis about it when we were at dinner last night, and I was like, I would force you to go say something. Like, I would be so offended by that if I was like out that bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why there's a person that's recording the whole thing. They turn the camera to themselves, and they're right behind the people fucking, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? I would go up to them and be like, can you put that away?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. Fuck around and find out. Y'all nasty asses. Y'all's nasty asses.
I don't even like to, pee at a bar. Let alone do that.
Just go in the bathroom if you have to do it.
I mean...
Go to the bathroom. Yeah, go to your car.
I wasn't I wasn't ready.
I know.
I wasn't.
I
Call me Kevin Hart because I wasn't ready.
I wanted to give you early morning porn videos.
If you're going to do that, pick a... I'd prefer not that.
I know. You're welcome.
Jesus. You threw me on that. I don't even know where to go
You're
from
welcome. Here. I don't know. Do we just do it? Do we just talk about our...
Well, the reason why we're doing this story is because we did Vacation Murders, and Brooklyn's was so juicy.
Lengthy.
Well, that's a juicy, but that we had to split them up. So that we did.
Yes. And then if we have time, I have a little bit of a story.
Oh, we'll have time.
Mine's pretty long, but we'll just have to let it go. Let it go.
I need that to keep going.
Well, I was trying to... I don't know what I was trying to do, but she was taking a drink of water, and I was like, well, let me fill in the space with my beautiful, beautiful words, my songs.
I loved that. I loved every part of it.
Good. I'm going to love every part of your story. I can't wait.
I hope so.
Let's go.
Let me see. Are you on the edge of your seat?
No, I have a bad back. I don't like to sit on the edge.
Wow. Threw that one back over in my court real quick. It's like, scoot up. You're like, I physically can't, or it'll injure me. So...
My lower back is stiff today. I'd like to sit fully in my chair.
All right, fine. This is the story.
I'm already excited.
You already
about a girl named
guessed.
Lucky?
Oh, God,
okay, go.
Early morning. Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
John Martin Scripps. Have you heard of him?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Like the whole thing?
I don't remember shit about fuck. I just know the name.
Okay.
That's all I got for you.
Okay.
But I'll randomly interrupt you in your story and say, I remember now.
Okay.
So let's get ready for that.
I did that last week. It's your turn.
I do it all the time. It's my favorite pastime. Yes.
Well, I have a bad memory, so luckily all stories are new to me.
I can't keep enough in this filing cabinet. I gotta move some files out sometimes.
I still have that image burned of those people. Okay.
I know it fucked with me for a long time. I'm not gonna lie. We talked about it for way longer than we should have as a family because I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Well, you know, I have to make Will watch it, so you're going to show me. You're going to send it to me.
I have to show it to you? Yes,
send it to me. I don't want to see it again. God damn it. Let's talk about this bad guy. Okay. John Martin Scripps. Sources, Wikipedia, episode 16 of True Crime Island and grunge.com. So here we go.
I love me some grunge. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. John Martin Scripps was born on December 9th, 1959 in Letchworth, Hertfordshire, in the UK.
I was like, where's that at? Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I've got it.
Do you got it? Because I don't got it. I'm going to fuck a lot of these names up too. So.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. His mother, Jean Scripps, was a Fleet Street barmaid, which I hated the term when I bartended. Like, people call me a barmaid, and I'm like, I'm not on a pirate ship. I feel like I should be.
I love that.
Right, you do?
You're a bar wench.
I also was called that.
Old shit. Good times, man. Fucking pissing and shitting in the streets and slapping ass.
Always wraps around to poop. And what?
Just keep going.
His dad, Leonard, who he was super close with, was an East End lorry driver.
I'm having a laugh attack.
What?
Dude, we're just laughing. You can't stop. Oh my God. That was one of my times. It got me. Got my goat. Everything's fine. Continue.
Okay, so his dad was an East End lorry driver, and apparently a lorry driver is the British term for truck driver of large trucks, in case you were wondering.
I'm glad you looked that up because I would have thought it was a taxi.
Yeah, I had no clue. John's dad brought him around a lot on the road, so that's really cute. Like when he would go on his trips, he would take him with him. But John's world turned upside down when he was 9 because his dad killed himself.
Oh.
Like out of nowhere. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. Then after that, he started showing learning disabilities. So he was having a really hard time reading and writing. And he actually dropped out of school when he was 15 in 1974 and remained semi-illiterate for the rest of his life.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Choices that you can't make these days.
Right? He started traveling around the world, and he'd pick up odd jobs to earn cash, and he sold antiques and stuff like that just to travel. So here goes a 15-year-old just going around the world and being like, let me resell your china cabinet.
Right. Like, look at this old lamp.
But at 15, he was arrested and charged with burglary, which earned him 1 year conditional discharge. Oh, God, I hate that word. He didn't stop. He kept getting caught, and then this escalated to an indecent assault charge at the age of 19. So after that, he fled to Mexico, and then he met 16-year-old Maria Pilar Arianos in Cancun, and they got married in 1980.
I'm like, how old was he?
He was 19 or 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, at 17? Another thing that we don't do these days.
Right.
I mean, well.
2 years into their marriage, he was arrested for theft, burglary, and resisting arrest, which got him 3 years in jail. And, of course, Maria got pissed off because John was on leave, because apparently that's a thing from prison, and he had 3 months left. He was, like, on a day leave. And then he got caught stealing again and was trying to escape, so they sent him back, and he got more time added.
What a fucking idiot. Yeah. I'd be like, all right, we're done.
Like 3 months after 3, like, you could do it.
You could, yes.
Yeah.
That's 90 days. 90-day fiance. Like, come on.
90-day fiance. She divorced him and married a cop, which pissed John off so bad. For some reason, he broke into his house, the cop's house, and stole his clothes. Like, he didn't...
Man, there are just so many things that I just don't understand that people, like, what choices, what's it like inside your head, you know? Like, what the fuck?
I think he just did it to be like, I can do this, look what I did.
Well, he's a kleptomaniac. He's he is a problem with stealing. Like, it's not even that he's stealing bread like a boo to fucking, like, feed himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not Aladdin over here. He's just a fucking
He's
trollop.
no Aladdin, because Aladdin is my boyfriend, so... He's definitely not Aladdin.
I'm going to tell William right now.
Oh, he knows.
Everything's weird.
He's aware.
Okay, carry on.
In 1986, he got out of prison and then changed his name to just John Martin. He took a new job. You want to know what he did? He started drug trafficking between Asia and Europe, because as one does.
As one does.
Yeah. 1987, he got caught at the airport with drugs, and they found a safety deposit box key on him from Singapore, which had 1.5 kilos of heroin, which was literally worth $1 million.
Damn.
Like, not just like shoving a balloon up his ass, like leaning in to his craft.
Yeah. That was a beautiful way to explain that.
Thanks.
Ma'am.
1988, he got 7 years for that. He turned
Only 7 years? Well, okay. Sorry, I just have issues. I'm like over here like, meh, that's not enough time. But I'm also like, well, it's drugs. And our system is already just packed with too many people.
Another
over
country,
like
too.
Right. Drug shit. And then I'm like, well, that is literally killing people.
Yeah.
It is heroin.
Yeah.
It's not like he's over there with some pot.
Yeah.
All those people shouldn't be in jail.
Right.
Says Brooklyn, my opinion is not reflected on a couple of sides.
Well, when he was in there, he turned into a model prisoner, so it got him privileges. And 4 years into his sentence, he earned home leave again. And guess what? He ran away. Yeah. They caught him again, and then they added another 6 years because they were pissed. When he went back, he decided, hey, I'm going to play by the rules. He worked his way up doing jobs and earned trust, so his security levels minimized. So basically, his MO was get caught, go to jail, be good, get a day leave, and run away.
Way to go. Well, at least he has an MO. That's important.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely does. You'll hear about the rest of it. He was able to apprentice in the prison as a butcher, and he became really highly skilled, said he wanted to become a butcher when he got out. Like, he was apparently really good at it.
Did they just gave him a knife? I was like, here, cut this flesh.
Yeah, because he faked everybody out and was like, look how good I am. Yeah. October 93, he was mistakenly granted day leave. Somebody messed up, and his own mom called them like, do not let him out. He's going to run away. And they were like, no, he'll be fine, because they thought he was someone else. And, of course, he ran away again.
Oh, my gosh.
He used another inmate's birth certificate named Simon Davis to get a passport, and then he ran to San Francisco.
Oh, look at him go. He is progressively getting smarter.
I just think of how much all those flights cost. Every time I'm like, how does he afford all this travel?
He steals shit.
True. So he went to San Francisco. In March of 94, the police found a butchered body of Tommy Wegner in a dumpster in San Francisco. So hours before this, somebody who matched John's description was seen at the bar with him, but they didn't follow up on it. Sad.
So many man.
Dropped the balls. Balls are dropped.
Balls are dropped all the time. And not only youthful young boys when their balls drop. You're talking about the dropping.
Not pubescent balls.
Yes. The balls of life and the judicial system. Because I'm going to have some balls drop in my next episode too. How's that? Balls be dropping.
Please make that that's going to be the episode name. After this, he flew to Cancun because he was like, I'm going to win Maria back. And he's like, I've changed. I found God. And he said, I'm a silk importer now. But she knew he was the lying asshole. So she's like, no. January 10th, 1995, 28-year-old British financial advisor named Timothy McDowell was reported missing while vacationing in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, which is close to where we went last year. Yeah. February 8th, $33,000 of Timothy's money was transferred into a bank in San Diego by John.
Oh.
He also used his credit card in Singapore, but they never found Timothy's body at all. The cops thought he killed him, butchered him, and then fed him to the alligators. That was their theory, but they never pinned it on him. January 11th, 95, 24-year-old William Shackle, who was a British tourist vacationing in Cancun, also disappeared. So just a few days later. This is the same day that the thousands of dollars of his traveler's checks were cashed, but they never found his body either. So all his money got spent the same day he disappeared, and nobody found him. 2 dudes, 2 days. And he got away again.
Sounds like college. I'm kidding. That got Heather.
Sure did.
Sorry, guys. I'm sure you don't want to listen to a podcast where it's just 2 girls laughing.
That's a
kink.
That's a
But that's
everything is. March 2nd, he flew to California with the Simon Davis passport and opened a bank account there under the name John Martin. Then he flew to Singapore 5 days later. So
I can't even keep this shit organized.
I know,
in my
right?
head, I'm just like hearing you. But I follow along really hard. But this one, I'm like,
well, because he goes to many places.
I don't know where the fuck this guy is or who he's killed or what. Like, man.
So far, 3.
Correct.
Yes. Okay, and it's spelled Gerard, but everybody said Jared. So I'm going to say Jared Lowe. He was a South African chemical engineer who was in Singapore on a shopping trip for electronics.
He sounds hot.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he sounds hot.
Yeah.
He's doing sexy shit. He's doing hot boy
shit. Hot boy summer.
Hot boy summer over there, Gerard.
He told his wife, Vanessa, before he left his exact schedule.
And his wife's name's Vanessa. Yeah, they're hot.
He said, hey, I'll call you when I check in. And she knew like his exact schedule. But the next day, John Scripps, he was going by Simon Davis at the time, he posed as a tourist, made friends with him, and then suggested that they share a room to save money at the Riverview Hotel. And he agreed. They just met. He approached him in the airport. They made friends. And he's like, you know what? We should split a room. Questions.
The dude is like super smart too, and he's going on a trip to buy electronics.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Like, I think you're pretty set. You don't need to save money. I don't know.
People questioned it a little bit.
I'm going to look up this dude's face. Maybe he had a little glitter in his tank.
That was
and had a crush on him.
Suspected, but never confirmed. His wife denied all that. So, anyway,
what's his name?
His name.
No, the naughty guy
is John Martin Scripps.
Carry on.
Okay, with 2 P's and no T, not like a script. So the next morning, March 9th, John went down to the desk and asked that Gerard be removed from the reservation. He told the front desk girl all this. So he says, hey, move Jared from the reservation. He wants him kicked. He kicked him out of the room because he made homosexual advances towards him. the night before. That's what he told the front. Not just, hey, that guy's not staying in my room anymore. He said everything. Later that day, he got thousands of dollars out of his bank account. He bought gifts for his sister to send back, got some shoes, and then he even went to the orchestra, which I included because I know you'd appreciate that.
I do. March
11th, he flew to, I don't know what he went to Phuket.
It's Phuket.
Well, he went there from Singapore. So March 13th to 16th, body parts started showing up at Clifford's Pier. A pair of legs cut off at the knees, 2 thighs, and a torso like Dexter style in plastic bags. Jared's wife, Vanessa, had filed a missing persons report, but the authorities decided to keep that under wraps because they didn't want the killer to try to run from Singapore. So they didn't release that yet. April 1st in 95, his wife had to come and identify the body, even though they never found his arms or his head.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
And it would be very hard to do.
Yeah.
Don't you think? I just have to I know Travis's legs, but do I know them like that?
You're going to go home and be all weird, and he's going to be like, why are you staring at my calves? Did you just take a picture of my calves?
In case your body parts show up, I want to make sure that I can identify them appropriately. Especially if they don't have any, identifying marks. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I have questions now. Yeah. Okay.
So John, a.k.a. Simon Davis, now he's already fled, and he makes friends with Canadian tourist Sheila May Demoo and her son Darren John in Thailand. Sheila was an avid traveler, and apparently she had a lot of money, and they just happened to be sitting next to him on their flight from Bangkok. So he made friends with them. He noticed them and, of course, made friends with them. Sticking to the same MO, he figured out what hotel they were staying at, and then he intentionally checked in a room a few doors down from them. He basically followed them there and was like, oh, fancy seeing you here. That's weird. After breakfast the next day, Sheila and Darren went to their room to freshen up before they headed out. John, God, I hate this guy, knocked on the door, and she let him in. He tased her immediately and then knocked her son to the ground, and he took a hammer and beat her in the head and then him in the head until they passed. He butchered their bodies, and when I say butchered, did it like it was an animal, and he was a hunter or something. In the bathroom, placed them in plastic bags, went down to the front desk, because, he likes to talk to those people, and he said, hey, they left early, but I'm going to pay their bill, so I'm going to stay in their room. They want me to, and they had to leave. So
that's weird shit.
Yeah, so he switched rooms, and he started his little cleanup process. He dumped their heads in an old mine and left their body parts around on the road. So
how old was the kid? Did it say?
He was, I think, in his 20s. Young. He was younger.
Oh, I thought he was
I could be
8.
wrong. I could be wrong. I don't. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, sorry.
In my head, when I'm reading it, I think that he's an older going on a trip with his mom.
Well, they said they knocked the son to the ground. It sounds like he was an 8-year-old.
I don't know.
Okay.
On March 19th, John flew back from Singapore again as Simon Davis, using that passport, checked into the same hotel where he killed Jared Lowe, which is dumb because they already had him connected with him. He was at the front desk telling everybody that
they were fucking.
Yeah. So they were waiting on him in the airport, and they arrested him. And when they brought him into custody, he bashed a panel of glass and tried to slit his own wrist, immediately. He was carrying several different passports. So he had 2 for Simon Davis, the original one, or his original one, then Sheila and Darren Demoo, and then Jared Lowe's. And they all had his photos on them. But he had all their passports.
So he had his
pictures
face on a female passport?
Yep.
What a fucking dingling.
I know.
That's so weird.
It's so weird, I know. What blew my mind, though, is that he had a little murder kit on him with a huge-ass hammer, some mace, a taser, and 2 sets of handcuffs, and a shit ton of knives. I can't even get through TSA with my Pepto-Bismol because it's too many ounces, but this motherfucker took all that through.
Yeah, but that was before 9/11.
Yeah, but isn't that wild to even think about now?
You used to just be able to walk on with all your shit. I'm pretty sure you could just walk in with guns.
That's insane.
I really do wish I could have flown once before 9/11 just to see what it was like. Just walk in, not get fucking cavity searched. But I get it.
Apparently, to get
Look
cavities.
inside my butthole. Look inside my butthole. If you have to ensure that there are not explosives in there, look inside my butthole.
What? Why are you? That is a sentence I never thought I'd have to hear you say, or that you would.
Well, if I was going to have someone look in my butthole, it would be you.
Oh, my God. Am I honored?
You should be. I would be. I'll look in your butthole if I had to.
What? Shit got real weird today. She watches one softcore bar porn at the beginning of the episode. Now she's telling me to look in her ass. Okay. We're going to keep going.
Yes.
There's only up from here. Actually, it's down because this guy sucks. Okay. Serious. March 21st, they charged him with forging Jared Lowe's signature just so they could hold him in custody. But they thought his name was Simon Davis at the time.
Oh, fuck.
He was refusing to talk, so they had to, grasp for what they could get him to say. March 24th, they gathered all evidence needed and charged him as John Scripps with the murder of Jared Lowe. They charged him with a bunch of other shit, too, but he was confident that they would do what they normally do and he would get out. Like, that was his end game was, I'm going to get arrested again, but I'll just be good and they'll let me out.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. He
sounds like Pam Hupp.
Yeah.
Like one of those people who just has no fucking...
Like, it's fine.
It's fine. I'll be home by dinner.
Yeah, exactly. He was mistaken, though, because all that when he kept getting daily was in the UK, and now he was in Singapore. So they said they were going to make an example out of him, and they did. So on October 2nd, his case went to the first trial, which was just judge only. He made a statement claiming that he killed Jared because he made homosexual advances towards him when they were rooming together, and he panicked. He said, he made all this shit up. I'm pretty
Obviously.
sure. Yeah. He said he woke up in the middle of the night. Jared was in just a towel, and he was grabbing his ass. Like he was just asleep, and then he wakes up, and he's like, what you doing? And when John kicked him away, Jared threw his hammer at him. So John picked it up and hit him in the head with it. That's
right.
what he said.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Then he called this friend who nobody knows who this is, and they killed him. And they killed him together, and then they disposed of the body.
Right.
And then he flew where the Demues were, and he met that friend again. And the friend was just like, "Here's these stranger stuff. Don't ask questions." I mean, delusional.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Delusional. And he believed the story. During the actual trial, he said the same thing, but then he was like, well, don't show me the photos because I may be a butcher, but these make me sick. Don't show me this. Like, you did it. You did it.
Fucking fuckwad.
Yeah. November 10th, 95, he was charged with the murder, and the judge said he would be taken to a prison, then hanged by the neck until you are dead. May the Lord have mercy on your soul. So he's not just going to go in and get out again.
Wait. So the judge is like, you're gonna
die.
Yeah, you're gonna get the death penalty.
We're going to hang you.
Aggressive. Okay.
Yeah, he was only the second Westerner to be charged with this over there. Mm-hmm. And the other guy was like 5 days before him. So they were like, no, you guys aren't going to come over here and fuck around. They fucked around and they found out.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah. January 6th, John turned down the chance to petition to the president of Singapore for clemency. And he's like, well, I'm too impatient. I'm just ready to die because the prison conditions aren't as cushy as he was used to. So he was like, yeah, it's okay. He knew that because even if he did get in and get out, the other people already knew he did all the other murders. So he was like, this is what I got to do. He said, before his execution, his mom made the statement, whoever he is now, he's the person the prison service trained him to be. These bastards have no right to take my son's life. I brought him into the world and I'm the only person who can take him out of it.
What a weird mom thing to say. Happy Mother's Day, by the way. But what a weird fucking thing to say.
Yeah, I know.
What a weird like, I'm the only one who can kill my son. I don't think that's how that works because your son killed a whole bunch of people.
Right, I know. And get this. She also basically said, I told you so when they because she was like, I told you not to let him out. And it contradicts her statements because none of that would have even happened if like he wasn't even around. But she's like, no, this wouldn't happen because you let him out.
You're the one that wasn't taking care of him when he was 15.
No shit.
You're the one that like let him drop out of school and fucking dip.
Yeah.
Like, where were you as a mom?
You know, I never thought about that.
It was her fucking fault.
The whole time. I mean,
gosh.
He didn't, yeah. Oof.
He had a mom still. Where was she making sure he was making the right life choices?
I don't. That's a good question.
If you have a good mom out there, make sure you call her as often as you can.
That's true.
And if you have a shitty mom, feel free to ignore her phone calls.
Also true.
At the end of the day, we make our choices.
Okay, John spent his final days writing love poems about his ex-wife, Maria. Apparently, they're on the internet, and apparently, they're fucking terrible. So,
good. I'm glad that he's still getting made fun of.
Yes. Oh, we're about to make a lot of fun of him.
Good.
His last meal, take a shot in the dark, because it's literally going to be in the dark.
Ham sandwich.
Man, I wish that's what it's.
I wish that was it, too.
A pizza.
Okay.
And a cup of hot chocolate.
Oh.
Never once would I ever put those two combos together. I don't want them together.
I do want pizza now.
I always want pizza.
Yeah. It's always on the cusp of like, put that in my mouth. Feel me? You feel me? Did you just hit your glasses?
I just hit my face on the mic. Sure did. I'm a professional. So
Apparently.
I'm just showing you what not to do. God.
Smash your face right into the fucking mic.
April 19th, 96. This was his execution day. He's 36 years old now. He starts crying and flipping his shit.
Wow, he gets executed at my age, essentially. I'm 35, everyone. But like, ooh.
Yeah, he did a lot of fucked up shit when he wasn't very old.
Man.
Yeah, but he was freaking out so bad they had to restrain him when they put the hood on him. He was also naked, and since he was such a piece of shit, I want to make sure I mention this. He shit himself. He was naked in a hood.
Why was he naked?
I don't know. The humiliation, I guess. They were like, we're really going to make you pay for it. I don't know.
Is that what the UK does? They're like
Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah.
Oh, Singapore.
He was in Singapore. When he was in the UK,
shit.
that's when they were giving him day leave, and he goes to Singapore, and they're like, we're going to hang you.
Oh, I'm sure he was in the worst jail. Like, Singapore is not a jail I want to fuck with.
I watched that the world's toughest prisons, and the guy goes in there. Oof, yeah.
Oh, my.
So
he was
naked, covered in poop, crying.
Well, if you're naked and you shit, it's probably just,
you
falling
would
to the
know.
ground. I'm never naked and shitting, Heather, but thank you. I'm never standing up naked shitting myself, but thank you. Heather goes, you would know. How the fuck would I know?
You're still young.
How the fuck would I know?
You're still young.
Don't put that on me. I would never put that on you. I hope you stand up naked and shit yourself one day. Fuck you. Bitch.
I hope
Today's the day where I unfriend her.
Because, okay.
Yep.
I would tell everyone why if that was the case. It'd be so weird. Okay, back in. I go from that to they hanged him just like that. Just like that. Can't wait for that to come out.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. And apparently they left him hanging there for 30 minutes and then took him out in a cardboard coffin. His mom and his sister came and viewed the body at the crematorium before he got cremated. So they literally put him in a shoebox.
Damn.
Like cardboard, like a big, like an old.
That's what I'm talking about, though. Like, bravo to treating a piece of shit human like a piece of shit human.
Yeah.
Because that's horrible. And fucking good.
Right? Yeah. I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah, fuck him.
Then they took his ashes and one of his relatives got to stay the night with the ashes the night before they scattered them somewhere. They never said where it was, but
they just put it in a dumpster.
He stayed in the same hotel where he committed one of his murders. So like full circle.
Wow.
Piece of shit.
I really do feel like Singapore would have been like, so now we're going to take it and we're going to pour these ashes literally
in the toilet.
In the dumpster. Yeah. We're going to put it on the dumpster.
Yeah.
Wow.
The cases of Timothy McDowell and William Shackle, who he killed in Mexico, they were closed. They just named him as the killer. They didn't finish the investigation. They just knew he was gone. Sheila and Darren DeMue, their cases were closed also, and they did prove that it was him. So this is the crazy fucked up story of John Martin Scripps and how he took the lives of at least 6, but they don't know if it's more people, by making friends with them and tricking them and killing them and taking their money. And then butchering them. They said, I forget the word that they said. It's dis something. Everyone scream it to me so I can hear you.
Disassembling or what?
No.
What is the word talking about?
Not disembowel. Like taking a body apart, like a butcher would.
Oh.
I meant to write it down.
Okay. Yeah.
Either way, not the word disassemble, the other word.
I still
the people. I know I don't either. I'll look it up.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Wow. Man,
yeah.
All right. So what did we learn about vacations? This is important. What did we learn? Number 1, anyone can kill you. Mm-hmm. My dad used to tell me that before I moved to Miami. My dad gave me some great advice, but also a little bit of trauma. Let's be honest. But my dad's awesome. Anywho. But anyone can kill you.
Yeah.
Like, truly, anyone can kill you, and you shouldn't just automatically trust people.
The thing about this story that made me think was that I talk to everyone.
Yes, you do, like an annoying little butterfly. Gosh.
And I talk to everyone. Now I'm going to be conscious about if someone goes, oh, where are you staying? I'm going to be like,
I never do that.
Over there.
Yeah. There's a reason why when you're at hotels, they're not supposed to ever say what room number you're in, like out loud. Mm-hmm. That's why they just hand it over to you.
Yeah.
And that's one of those reasons. But like, yeah, fuck that. I'm never letting, no.
I'm going to be on a leash next trip we go on. You're going to put me on a leash.
No, I pay too much attention, and I'm always
really
packing heat, and I always have pepper spray.
Yeah.
And no.
Yep.
I don't want to fucking fuck with people. I don't want people fucking with me. I don't want to fuck with people because we have a fucking true crime podcast, and all we talk about is murders and how people get murdered. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna be a stat, man. I'm not gonna be a statistic here.
Keith Morrison would say I lit up a room, but I'm not ready for him to say that yet.
I agree, and I'm not ready to fucking get a calf tattoo of your face.
God, I want that to happen so bad.
Heather's like, I want to get killed so I can have it. Yeah, no. We made the joke, for anyone that is not inside of our heads, we made the joke that if one of us dies, the other one has to get a calf tattoo of the person's face.
A calf tattoo.
Calf.
If you pass and I got a calf tattoo, everyone would be like, I knew it. I knew they were together.
I know they were fucking the whole time. I knew they were lesbians. We all thought it. We thought it, and now here's the evidence.
I just write not a lesbian underneath it. Not my girlfriend. Sister, not girlfriend.
That literally screams
made it worse.
Girlfriend, not sister.
Well, shit.
So I had gotten a story just to be safe and ready, pretty much.
Safe and ready.
Safe and ready.
That's how she travels.
That's exactly how I fucking travel. Safe and ready. And so this one, by saying I got a story together, I'm literally reading a story that someone else wrote. So I just want to be very clear on that. And the whole reason was because we talked about it, which was Aron Ralston, this is so not on theme in any real way, but it was the guy who had to cut his own hand off.
Yeah, you mentioned that in passing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know more because I didn't know the whole story.
Yeah. And so I'm going to do it. So this is the extraordinary.
Extraordinary?
I think they spelt that wrong. Extraordinary. Yeah, they literally spelt that wrong.
Oh.
But anyway, behind Danny Boyle's 127 Hours. So it's about, obviously, that. It's written by Patrick Barkham, and it was from The Guardian. So once more, big hats off to Patrick Barkham, who I am now reading his story, Barkham. I wonder how he got his last name, since we get our last names in a stupid way. Like, my last name was Maples originally, and it's because, like, our family, we had a lot of maple trees. My ancestors. Like,
Barkham.
Johnson is literally the son of John, and that's how they made that last name. Like, very interesting. Did a
Barkham. Maybe a
dog was barking
was
at
a pig corraller.
That's what yeah.
That's probably it.
100%.
Yeah.
Patrick, we have now informed you of how you got your last.
Put that on your family crest,
right?
on your calf.
Okay, so for 6 days, Aron Ralston kept himself alive with fierce self-control and a conviction that only logical thought could let him survive. But the epiphany when the 27-year-old climber realized how he could save his own life came from an explosion of blind rage, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Ralston had been climbing the narrow canyons of Utah alone when a dislodged boulder fell on his right arm, trapping him against a rock. He was entombed in the wilderness of Blue John Canyon. We were there.
Oh, wow.
And Travis was like, can you imagine that dude he mentioned this guy had fallen, and it's like, it's insane. Anyway, he was just carrying a small rucksack with just 1 liter of water, 2 burritos, and a few chunks of chocolate.
Oh.
He had headphones and a video camera, but no mobile phone, and there was no reception anyway. Most foolishly of all, he had not told anyone where he was going.
Oh, no.
He eked out his water. I'm not sure what that means. I should have Googled it.
What is it?
He eked out his water. So it wasn't like a water bottle. It was like a water bladder, which is what we have that goes into your bag. And you have the little straw thing. And he was chipping away at the 800-pound rock.
Oh, my God.
And slowly entering a state of delirium until he was eventually forced to cut off his trapped arm with a small knife from his cheap multi-tool kit. Imagine how...
Like a Swiss Army?
Yes. Yes, Heather. Let's continue. Ralston, who is now 35... which he's probably older than that because this is a little bit older, and still with the wiry physique of a climber, he just attended the London premiere of 127 Hours, which was Danny Boyle's film about his extraordinary escape from certain death. The film, like Ralston himself, full of boyish energy, is remarkably true to life, says Ralston, talking quickly and waving his arms around animatedly. It does not, however, fully describe his gruesome moment of revelation. When his blunt knife pierced his skin but came to rest against solid bone, Ralston thought there was no chance he could perform the gruesome amputation that would save his life. He brushed some grit from his trapped thumb, and a sliver of flesh peeled off.
No.
Like the skin of boiled milk, he remembers. His quote, he goes, I'm like, what the... I take my knife and I'm poking a bit more, and the knife just slips into the meat of my thumb like it's going through room temperature butter. Okay, my hand was almost jellified. The knife tip goes in, and psst, the gases from decomposition escape, and there's this putrid smell. I go into this rage. I'm this hyper-emotional state after all this regimented discipline to keep it together. And in this moment, when I'm trying to rip my arm out from this rock, I feel it bend and it stops me. That's it. I can use the boulder to break my bones.
That's very vivid.
Isn't it? Yeah. So I haven't watched the movie, and I'm going to. I watched the trailer.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'll just keep talking because it's going to talk about everything that I'm basically saying.
Okay.
It was this moment of high emotion rather than calm logic that led Ralston to deliberately snapping the bones in his arm by hurling himself ferociously against the boulder.
Oh my gosh.
Finally enabling him to cut through his limb with a blunt knife. It is hardly surprising that audience have responded with fainting.
I don't think I could watch this.
Yeah. When they watched the point when when Ralston, who was played by James Franco in the film.
I love James Franco.
I do too. And he was nominated for a Golden Globe for this movie. Begins his amputation.
Oh my God.
Despite what might be considered an unpromising climax for mainstream entertainment, made more unpromising by the fact that most people know exactly what will happen, this moment is compelling, without Boyle being like too gory.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Because everyone knows, like, it's one of those movies where you know what happened, right?
It's like the Titanic when you go in, you're like, oh my God, did you see that boat sink?
Yeah, I had no idea that was going to happen.
I never saw it coming.
And despite retelling the story for what must be the umpteenth time, Ralston is also utterly captivating, completely inhabiting the moment again, miming out what he did by making a brutal stabbing motion with his good arm into what is now a dark gray prosthetic limb. In the film, Franco's Ralston is at first a hyperactive, overconfident loner who believes he is invincible as he careers around Blue John Canyon, shamelessly showing off to a couple of female hikers he meets, and jackass-like taking photographs of himself when he falls off his mountain bike. That's so you, Ralston, friends have told him. But if his portrayal on film was true to his life then, Ralston is certainly much more likable now. So he was kind of an asshole, like a little bit of an asshat.
Man.
Yeah, and he's super honest about it. Obviously, he was doing something that requires, in every sense of the word, it requires you to be smart. And he didn't have any of the proper, like you don't even walk away from a car, let alone a bike, in that environment without the appropriate tools to survive. And he didn't even have any of that. The year before his accident, Ralston had quit his job as an engineer with Intel to climb all of Colorado's 14ers, which is so fucking cool, which are any of the peaks that are over 14,000 feet. In May 2003, he began canyoneering in Utah, navigating the narrow passages of Blue John with a mixture of free climbing, daring jumps, and climbing with ropes. Super fucking hard, actually. He was negotiating a 10-foot drop in a 3-foot wide canyon, listening to his favorite band, Phish, when he dislodged a boulder he thought was stable. I go from being out on a lark in a beautiful place and just being so happy and carefree to like, oh shit. I fell a few feet in slow motion. I look up and the boulder is coming and I put my hands up and try to push myself. He tries to push himself away from like the other side of the canyon, and it collides and crushes his right hand.
Oh, God.
He was pinned in the canyon, his right hand and lower arm crushed by the 800-pound rock. There was this stunned moment of what? He laughs. It's almost comic to him. The next second, the pain struck. If you've ever crushed your finger in a door accidentally, he says, this was times 100. In an adrenalized rage, for 45 minutes, he cursed like a pirate, just fucking went crazy and cussed for 45. Then he reached for his water bottle. As he drank, he had to force himself to stop. I realize this water is the only thing that's going to keep myself alive, he says. Having failed to tell anyone where he was going, he knew he would not be found. And in the movie, you see it, you would never know a person was in there. It was like, all right, brute force isn't going to do it. This is the stop, think, observe, plan phase of rational problem solving. I have to think my way out of here. As he describes how he thought through his options, he taps his prosthetic arm on his fingers. Like, he ruled out the most drastic option, which was suicide. But the next most drastic alternative came to him immediately. There's a surreal conversation with myself. Aron, you're going to have to cut off your arm. I don't want to cut off my arm. Dude, you're going to have to cut your arm off. I said to myself, That little back and forth, then, wait a minute, stop. I'm not talking to myself. That's just crazy. You're not talking to yourself, Aron. Except I would continue to talk to myself in various ways to remind myself not to pass out.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah. After 2 days spent fruitlessly chipping away at the rock with his knife.
Oh, my God.
And devising a clever but futile system of pulleys with his climbing clips and ropes to hoist the boulder clear, he was defeated because climbing rope is stretchy and he couldn't obtain the required tension. He put his knife to his arm only to find it was so blunt that it couldn't even cut his body hair.
So he was trying to do this for 2 days, trying to chip away at the rock, you said. And then with that knife, so that probably beat the shit out of it.
Yep, that's what I was thinking too.
And then he has to try to... Okay, could you imagine being like, all right, well, I tried, now I have to do... Oh, okay, keep going.
Oh, utterly. No. I don't ever want to... No. In the film.
What was it?
Woo. In the film.
There we go.
When Ralston realizes he can use the knife like a dagger rather than a saw, the camera follows the knife's journey into his flesh so the audience can see blade come to rest against bone inside his arm.
Nope.
This scene is beautiful to Ralston. He vividly remembers how it felt to have the knife in his arm touching his bone because it meant I'm going to die. It went from I did it to, oh, I'm going to die here. I could no more chip through that bone than I would be able to excavate the rock to free my hand.
Oh.
Are you just texting over there?
No,
Heather?
I'm looking. I wanted to see what he looks like. You were talking, and I didn't want to stop you and be like, I'm looking him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I promise
Definitely
I'm
look him up because he doesn't have an arm from his elbow down.
Oh, man.
Just as a reference.
I just wanted to see what... Oh, okay.
By the 5th day, he had found peace in the knowledge that I'm going to die here. This is my grave. In the middle of his final night, hallucinating through hunger, lack of water, and it says 3 C temperatures. So 3
degrees Celsius?
Yeah. He had a vision of a small boy. Look at this shit.
Oh,
you
no.
guys, buckle up. I see myself in this out-of-body experience playing with him with a handless right arm. I see myself scoop him up, and there's this look in his eyes. Daddy, can we play now? That look tells me this is my son. This is my future. I'm going to have this experience someday. Now it's like, I'm going to get through this night.
Whoa.
Yeah, that gave me chills.
Yeah.
When I read that, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my fucking gosh.
Yeah. Wow.
The next morning, finally, came the rage and its revelation that Ralston could fling himself against the boulder to break his own bones. So that's what it is, right? Like he realized that he could cut the flesh off of himself.
Yeah.
And he realized that with the knife, but that there was no way he would be able to then break the bone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This one's
okay. Wild.
Okay.
So from then, it was easy, he says.
Oh.
The snap of his bones, like pow, was a horrifying sound, but to me, it was euphoric.
Holy shit.
The detachment had already happened in my mind. It's rubbish. It's going to kill you. Get rid of it, Aron. It's an it. It's no longer my arm. As I picked up the knife, I was very cool and collected.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. It took him an hour to hack through his flesh.
Oh my God.
As painful as it all was, the momentum of the euphoria was driving it, he says.
Holy balls. How long had he been out there then?
6 days.
God.
The 5th night is when he had that moment where he was like, I'm going to have a son and I'm going to get rid of my arm. And then he wakes up and he's like, I have to get rid of my arm. And he's so smart. Like he literally was like, this arm's going to kill me. I have to get rid of my arm.
His mindset sounds like
he's a fucking rock star.
Jeez.
It is striking in Ralston's own book and in Franco's portrayal in the film just how curiously unemotional he is about his predicament, which he views not self-pityingly nor self-critically, but simply as a series of problems to be solved. When asked why the epiphany that leads to his freedom came through anger and not his more characteristic rational thought, Ralston gives a particularly good answer. The lesson is that resilience is about flexibility. It's not just about exercising your strengths, he says, flexing his good arm. It's also about exercising what aren't your strengths. At this point, he flexes his prosthetic arm. I'm a very analytical and rational person, very mind-centered in my life. And yet, here's this way I was very heart-centered, both finding my strength and finding the solution. It didn't have anything to do with logic. It had to do with the sensation, the feeling of the bone just bending in a really weird way. Then it became a thought, I can break my bones. In the canyon, Ralston calculated it would take him at least 10 hours. pause on this one. Once he cuts the flesh off his arm, shatters the bone, he has to careen out of here and get help with
I didn't even think about that
phone.
part.
I know. I hadn't either. Yeah. In the canyon, so he calculated it would take him at least 10 hours.
Oh, my God.
To find medical help, and he would bleed to death. But using pieces of the climbing kit as a tourniquet, he strapped himself up and somehow managed to scale a 65-foot cliff.
What?
To get out of the canyon. So he was in between two big canyons underneath in the bottom.
And he had to
climb up with one arm, with the other one splintered bone and no flesh on the other. And I think he was right-handed. It doesn't say that, but most people are right-handed. So he lost his right arm. So that would have been the leader of the pack.
Oh.
If you will.
Shit.
So as I was mentioning, he was exposed to the fierce sun. Okay, wait, let me go back. He made that tourniquet, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He escaped the canyon. Exposed to the fierce sun, he was found by 3 Dutch tourists who gave him water and helped him stagger on before he was picked up by a search and rescue helicopter dispatched by his family to look for him.
So he just happened to see some tourists? Whoa.
Yeah, and it sounds like they just gave him water. Like, it doesn't sound like
it's like, no,
they called anyone, because his parents, like the search and rescue helicopter, was looking for him.
So he was like, "Oh, you're going to eat that kind bar? Cool."
Right.
Can I just have a drink, I guess?
Well, who knows who fucking knows,
yeah,
right?
Who knows?
Watching these scenes on film, that's where I start getting all weepy-eyed, says Ralston, because when I see that helicopter, what I'm seeing is my mom, because she made the rescue happen.
Holy shit.
Big heart emoji. Where Ralston is radically different today in the flesh compared to his pre-accident self as portrayed by Franco in the film is in his recognition that he depends on other people. The love of others, his relationships with his family and friends kept him alive, he says now. It was very much a spiritual experience and different from Joe Simpson in Touching the Void. I don't know what that is. That reinforced his agnosticism. I did this all on my own, and God doesn't exist, because if he did, he would have helped me out, that fucker.
Oh,
for me, it was to go through this and realize, well, God is love, and love is what kept me alive, and that love is what got me out of here. Or out of there. So I think I really can't talk on this point because I really don't know that movie, but it sounds like maybe, well, I don't fucking know. I was like, I can interpret this, or I can just let everyone interpret it on their own.
That's right.
The tool that connected him to other people's love was his camera. It's like this lifeline to the outer world, to other living beings to love. That's what kept me alive. He recorded his last will and testament in a series of video diaries during his entombment. So it is nicely symbolic that his ordeal has been made into a film.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah. Although he played his video. Yeah, that's why if you look him up, you can see the video of his arm. Like, he has a photo of him trapped.
Oh,
like,
shit.
of his hand trapped under that 800-pound. Yeah, which would happen to all of us. Now we'd fucking take a photo and be like, well, no, I don't fucking know. Instead, many of Franco's monologues exactly replicate what Ralston said in his own personal videos. Wild.
That is insane.
Boyle shot 127 hours at the exact same spot where Ralston had the accident, but added some fictional scenes, such as when he splashes in a secret pool with the women he meets before the accident. The reality, helping them with a few basic climbs, was much more, like, chill. But I saw that it's in the trailer. Like, they show all of that, like how
splashing in bikinis and that kind of thing.
Yeah, just like how cool he was and that, whatever. Ralston was uncomfortable with these at first, but belatedly understood that such changes enabled the audience to experience it in a truthful way and did not undermine the authenticity promised by Boyle. The movie is so factually accurate, it is as close to a documentary as you can get and still be a drama, he says.
Oh, whoa.
I think it's the best film ever made. He has watched it 8 times and cried every time.
That's good that it's so accurate, especially coming because most of them, it's based on true events, and it's it's also a little watered down.
You never have a video of, oh, this is exactly what happened because I recorded it.
Yeah, shit fire. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can watch the videos.
I am dying to watch it. The vision that Ralston had during his final night in the canyon has come true.
Aww.
Earlier this year, whatever year this was written, Ralston's wife, Jessica, gave birth to a baby boy.
Oh, whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
Whoa.
And the baby's name is Leo.
That's cute.
Yeah. Ralston admits to moments of frustration with his prosthetic arm, but sees it as his salvation. It was me getting my life back. He says, after the exhilaration of the rescue, you might expect Ralston to suffer some depression. He didn't, at least not immediately. Fearing the loss of my identity as a self-reliant individual, as an outdoorsman, he regained all of that. He completed his mission to conquer the 14ers.
Oh, whoa.
Rode a boat through the Grand Canyon, and is a better climber now than he was when he had his right hand.
Whoa.
Many people would find this adaptation to disability as inspiring as his escape. But Ralston is honest enough to admit the downside of the fact that this supposedly life-changing experience did not actually change his life as perhaps it should. What did I do? In the years following my amputation, I thought, I won't let it change me. I just want to be the guy I was before and prove that I'm still this hard hero. It's almost pathetic to the extent that what I really needed was a humbling and what happened. I don't really get that. Was a humbling. And what happened? I just got reinforced. I'm a fucking badass. I just got out of that. Nothing's going to stop me.
Whoa. I mean.
So he was like, I needed a humbling moment, right? Yeah.
Knocked him on his ass a little bit. And now he thinks he's better, which sounds like he is.
Yeah.
So.
They say he lowers his voice. But it was ultimately humbled actually through a relationship. A girl who broke up with me. That's what it ended up. Basically, he's like, you think this experience would humble me, but I got dumped. And that humbled me more. Probably because he was like, I'm the shit.
I mean,
why not? If I cut through my own arm, I would literally be like, you guys, I'm better than all of you. I am literally better than all of you.
Man, every time somebody said like, oh, I'm cramping, you'd be like, oh, that's fine. Do you know I cut my arm off? And I'm like, God damn it, she always wins that game.
Look at this shit. He goes, it was not the loss of his right arm, but this breakup in 2006 that caused a really deep depression.
Whoa.
He felt crushed to the core, he says, and began questioning whether he was worth anything if he was not lovable. How we all feel when somebody leaves us.
Yeah.
Belatedly, he realized that it was love and relationship that leads you to strength and confidence and courage and perseverance and everything that people attribute to this story. In the aftermath of his depression, he met his wife, and she challenged him to implement what I'd learned, that relationships are really very important in life, and this is how to transform from being this ego-driven 20-something into being, if possible, on a path at least to becoming a more mature guy. Ralston still likes solitude, but when he goes out rafting and climbing, now he almost always takes his friends. In Blue John Canyon, he also has a literal touchstone, the rock that crushed and trapped him. He still visits it.
Whoa.
I touch it and I go back to that place, remembering when I thought about what's important in life, relationships, and this quest to want to get out of there and return to love and relationships, he says, to return to freedom instead of entrapment. The movie came out January 5th of 2011. Question.
Whoa. Okay.
Was his hand still there?
Oh, I don't know. You're making me think today.
I know. I'm like, but right?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, did the bone, like, obviously the flesh would have deteriorated, right? But the bone would still be there. The bone would have fallen, I guess. Like, I wonder if he went all the way down the ravine, if he could like pick up his hand bones.
Whoa. Huh. I don't know.
I don't either. I
know
know that his goal was not to then take his dead hand with him, as he had 10 hours to get the fuck to help.
Oh my God.
Isn't that some crazy shit?
That's insane.
Way to go, Patrick Barkham. But man.
Barkham.
Fuck.
I don't think I knew that whole story either. Like, I knew the part you told me.
I would struggle so hard because I always have like my gun in my bag, and that would fucking suck. I don't think I'd be I would end up.
I'm picking up what you're saying.
Yeah, I would end up committing suicide because my head wouldn't have gotten that far to just cutting off your arm. Because you're like, well, I have a way out.
Well, I wouldn't be hiking.
I wouldn't be canyoneering. That's not my vibe at all. What is the word
you're saying?
Canyoneering.
What does that mean?
So it's like canyon with EERING. That's where it's the ropes, the pulleys, the jumping.
Oh,
yeah, like it's shit I would never do. I never want to fall. I'm terrified of falling off of a cliff. That's like a huge fear of mine.
That's a valid fear.
Yeah. And so I'm terrified of falling off of something. And I would never be like, oh, I'm just going to fucking act like I'm a grasshopper hopping all over the place. That ain't my vibe.
No gas hoppers?
No gas hoppers.
It's like if you see cheaper gas on the street, you hop down. Okay, that's cool. This is
okay.
We got to wrap
a dad
up.
joke.
That was
a
and
dad
we got to
joke.
wrap it up.
We do. Heather calls us out to stop the podcast with her stupid with her shenanigans.
Joke. Listen, you can't land all of them. I got to shoot my shot, and sometimes I miss.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. So we're both gonna have to watch 127 hours.
I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
I think I will.
Yeah, I know you will. I think
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Just give me the synopsis.
I just did. Was I the only one here? I was like, I literally just explained the movie to you in great detail. She's like, just tell me what it's about. What the fuck?
I'll just listen to this. I'll listen to the podcast.
God damn. Well, with that, we will end it, guys. We love you so much.
We love you, yes. Rate, review, subscribe, please, because that only does help us. So,
yes.
Please do that.
Jiss and Jiss.
Yes.
We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Theodore, can I pet that dog?